Sometimes life lets you down and you feel that you are done. You just want a morning run because the fun is all gone. But sometimes life makes you proud when you look far and wide, when you leave the pain behind and see the brighter side. TNC gives you inspiration. TNC reignites your passion. TNC starts your transformation. TNC helps you see the new you. Sometimes life makes you blind and you choose something bad. You just wanna cry and hide and save your face from the crowd. But sometimes life makes you see the beauty in you and me. When you look up above, there is God and there is love. TNC gives you inspiration. TNC reignites your passion. TNC starts your transformation. TNC helps you see the new. We're here to help you see the newness of life. We're here to help you feel your hope is so real. You got the power to see. We'll help you see the new you. TNC gives you inspiration. TNC reignites your passion. TNC starts your transformation. TNC helps you see the new you.
The new channel. The new channel. The views, opinions, and insights expressed in the following show are those of the hosts, producers, guests, and viewers. They do not necessarily reflect the position of the channel. Viewer discretion is advised.
Good morning, wonderful morning. Welcome to the new channel, here to help you see the new you. Good morning again. I had only around 4 hours of sleep because one of my pets gave birth. And you know, daddy duties. You have to be around to be with your loved ones when they are actually delivering their babies. And I have, but this is not pure, it's actually a mix of Remedios. She is a mix of adoption and a Shih Tzu, but the father, Crisanto, is a Shih Tzu. take note of the names of my pets. They're all my forefathers, grandparents. My mom has this family tree, and then I have a copy. So all of my pets are from the names of my relatives. So I have Socorro, I have Remedios, Crisanto, Cristina, Bonita, Bettina, Monina, Carlota, Carmela, then Isaac, then Juan, Pedro, and Jose. These are all my relatives. And anyway, it reminds me of them. And I love them. I love them. One of my, she's already gone. Beck is, the name is Felicity. Mind you, I have I am half Ilonggo, Bisaya. So they have nicknames. So Felicidad is Beck. Remedios is Nick. Manila is Mot Mot. I'm sharing this with you because they know it. It's fun. Hello, June, Sally, you're here. And of course, Mamlita from Tarlac. They are watching us now. Okay. Um, and also, I'm quite busy. I told you early on of the year, people were just actually trying to cope up with the pandemic. But now I think it's April. It's there's actually coming into the second quarter. I have invitations. I hope family is listening. I have invitations. I am not bragging. I am a humble person. It is actually answered prayers that I do not go out. I'm home. I am doing webinars. I don't have a marketing arm, but I got calls and I mentioned that I do trainings for them. And it's wonderful. And I thank God for that. It's actually part of my prayers every day. And of course, being scared also. I'm waiting for Astra vaccine. But I've seen in a post that Don Jaime uh, Sobel and a lot of friends, Grace Roman, Grace Zata, they took the vaccine, decided the vaccine. And maybe I'll join them. I'll join them. Although I'm a borderline diabetic, but I am, I feel that I am in the pink of health. So maybe it's nice that I have vaccine. Anyway, so these are the things that I do. And then we have a wonderful conversation today because I invited friends of mine, seasoned uh, HR, to share with us on three concerns. Actually, two of them were uh, sent by my students. I have group chats. It's funny. The name is Cult ni Jesse, and the other one is Parokya ni Jesse, and the other one is Friends of Jesse, and the fourth one is Familia ni Jesse. And then these are my students in ECOP and in PIMA. And then we update each other. Then I got this. So we have three items to discuss today. The first one is because we have been discussing for the longest time about culture, and we always mention about interventions, and two of them is actually mentoring and coaching. So I have a student, I will not mention her name. She asked me, can because I was telling them that bosses, direct supervisors must have in their KPI coaching. But that's what we discussed here. I think it was Jennifer or Charisse or Ophel who mentioned that. And of course, PP Jerry, that coaching should be included in the KPIs. That's a key performance indicator of supervisors. So I shared that. I am sharing this episode. So she asked me, can supervisors be mentors? And also, can they be coaches as well? This is a tricky question because I know the answer. Okay, so we'll get the thoughts and insights from the people who are actually in the in the group now. There are many already, and then I would like to know your thoughts on should direct supervisors be mentors and at the same time be coaches as well. And this one will spell your mentoring program or your viewpoint, your your paradigm on coaching and mentoring. The second one is actually on uh, this is on the recruitment what to do now, which is actually online, virtual, and of course we are looking for competencies, and then competencies are actually your knowledge, your skills, your experiences, and then your attitude. So the question is, how do you assess attitude during virtual interviews, or how do you assess attitudes during recruitment in general? Oh, this is also a question that is actually so easy to answer, but it's difficult really to do. And then the last one is actually, I am preparing a webinar, and I would just like to confirm. It's a webinar actually in June, but it is for a big company somewhere south of Manila in one of the islands. And then the question is, what are the competencies that leaders should prepare now, or what are the future competencies? Okay, so we have Gemma here, we have June, and I don't know who are the rest of the people who are in the room because there are already many. I can see it. How many viewers do we have? And of course, we're going to share this. So let us converse on the first one. Should direct reports be mentors and be coaches as well? I would like to know your thoughts on this. June and Gemma, can we have? And Ophel, good morning, Ophel. Yes. You know, I will start. I will start. Yes. Good afternoon, Jesse friends. Joining us usual from BGC. Yes. Yes. Okay. We have here from Gemma. Can we spot on Gemma? Yes, for me, supervisors can be coaches. Mentors, in my opinion, require extensive experience in a critical function. So either they have mastered their skills as a supervisor for a long time, or they are in managerial level. So yes, of course, yes, you can both mentors and coaches, but can you do it both at the same time? That I think is the question. We have here from Mr. Ryan Navarro of uh, Davao IntelliCare. Yet supervisors must be mentoring in coaching maybe as part of their structured program, but it has to be a task of the line managers. We have here Rico. Rico is a friend of mine for the longest time. Welcome, Rico, and join this group of seasoned HR that give their thoughts in the chat box and we discuss it. And we have from June. June, what? Yes, they can be both coaching and mentoring because the subordinates needs to be guided. More so, the subordinates need to know how the supervisor make solution to the problem. Okay. So the next question maybe, I'm still waiting for some more insights. How can you do differentiate coaching and mentoring now? I know these are different disciplines. Of course, in a nice mentoring program, there should be a trainer's training program. You must train your mentors, your leaders, how to mentor. That one of questioning. We discussed that. Now we are not telling here, so that's why it's a trick question that a supervisor can be both. And then yes, you can both a mentor, but how will we differentiate it? Because I know mentoring is very different from coaching. As mentioned by PP Jerry, coaching can even be part of the KPI. But it was agreed later in that conversation that mentoring may not be, because with mentoring, the right one that I have known, the mentee seek for the mentor. You don't really do speed dating in mentoring. Mentoring programs now, we have that we sometimes just for facility, we select mentees, we select mentors, and we match them. Oh, that would be nice. That can be done by the audit person or by the trained person. But the mentoring that I know through the years is that the mentees should seek the mentor, because there is that portion in mentoring wherein the mentee must have that, what do you call this, uh, trust trust that the mentor is credible. Okay, so the answer of Joanne Rosary, yes, all people leaders should have coaching and mentor skills. Yes, yes, right, right, Joanne. But now, that is a tricky question, because the next one is, how will we differentiate when you're doing it? When you're doing it. This is where I'm discussing it now. We have Ophel, yes, yes. Any immediate supervisor is expected to act as a coach to their direct reports. In fact, coaching skills are part of the many skills expected of every manager supervisor. That is coaching. As for being a mentor, not all managers, I love you, Ophel. This is what I am waiting for. Not all managers can be the mentor of the direct reports. Parang kaklase kita, Ophel, nito. Can be another manager outside of the team. I don't know if you know Archie. And we have a lengthy discussion with this with Archie. Yes, coaching, as mentioned by PP Jerry, should be part of the responsibility of a director. You have to coach, and then HR must teach, and this is actually what you mean: teaching the leaders, the supervisors, how to coach. Because I had that experience when I did a webinar on supervisory, and I have a module on coaching. I found out that supervisors don't really have the competency in coaching. There is no, we have to go. Ophel, help me here. There is also a big difference between instructing, teaching, and coaching. A lot of new HR and new managers must be given this proper mind or insight or understanding. So the difference between mentoring and coaching, and as far as coaching is concerned, because you are told that it has to be part of the KPI, there is a difference between induction, orientation, and onboarding, and a difference between instruction, teaching, and coaching. Lumalim. That's why I got your season. Okay. We have here Cecil Munoz. Yes. Cecil, can you spot on Cecil Munoz? Welcome, Cecil. Welcome. Supervisors can be both mentors and coaches, and the trust level between superiors and team members is important. Yes, of course, they have to. But the point is the difference. Can you put that when you're doing it? Can you what do you call it? Integrate that in one role, converge that in one role. Rico here, coaching it is a supportive relationship in which the coach serves as the thinking partner to the coachee, while mentoring is a supportive advising relationship often between two people who are in the same career field. Managers need to improve their skills and experience in coaching and mentoring. This is a long process. I love you, Rico. But I love what Ophel mentioned. All supervisors are expected to be coaches, but not can really be mentors. That is what we can start. Yes, Ophel here. Can we spot on Ophel? A mentor is specifically chosen by the mentee. Ay nako, Ophel, pare yung teacher natin. Kasi I've been insisting that. It's even romantic sa akin. The mentee should seek the mentor. Sino nga yung mentor? Si Aristotle o si Plato? Tell me. Ay, can we go back to Ophel kasi hindi pa tayo tapos kay Ophel. Direct. It has to be a mutual agreement. Tama. The mentor is an expert on the area that the mentee desires to be mentored. Not all supervisors are actually expert on the area. There is a respect between them. So now we are trying to differentiate a mentor and a coach, which is, I think, should be shared to all HR because there is actually a, a misconception. Then we have Cecil Munoz. Although both can be a mentor and a coach, but there should be a thin line that divides. Coaching is more focused on performance. I love you, Cecil. Magkakaklase tayo ni Ophel. Tama. Feedback and is expected more from direct superiors. Mentoring is more focused on career development of an employee. Mentors may not be necessarily to be direct boss. Spot on, Cecil. Kaya talaga malaking kawalan that you're already retired from PAL. We have one of those that successfully parang entered into a new career ay si Cecil. Right, Cecil? Can we spot on again, Cecil? Kasi that is actually what I'm expecting in this conversation. Coaching is more focused on performance and mentoring is actually on culture, on career, on your kaya tama si Cecil, on your succession plan, on the culture and the career, and on what yung coach, yung sa ginagawa, you don't mentor it. Ayan ang ayaw ng Pilipino, na while you're coaching, you're mentoring them. You are yung sinasabi na nagpo-pontificate. Cecil and Ophel, can you help me so that we can end this conversation? The difference between instruction, teaching, and coaching. Kaya, ang pinakalas niyan, pontificate eh. Yung nagturo sa atin para-pareho. Kasi kung isabay mo yung mentoring and coaching, nag-pontificate ka. The real definition of pontificate na, para kang papa. Alam mo, you know where I got this, and I would like really to mention him, Rick Abadesco. I got this from Rick Abadesco. This mindset. And of course, from PP Jerry. PP Jerry. Diba? Ganun yun. May mga mentors tayo. Then we have somebody ito. Ophel, nabasa na ba natin kay Ophel? Ayan na. Then we have coaching is more focused. Yes. So, let's just, so, di ba, coaching, mentoring, na hit na natin the difference. I don't know if Ephemery is here. I would like to listen on Ephemery's insight on this. But Ophel and Cecil, because you're both actually guru in learning and development, it would be nice if you can share, because we are going to share this, just a line or two on the difference between you are given an instruction while you are the direct report, or you are teaching them what to do, and then you are now coaching. I know that kasi ang aking what do you call this, practice ay with my katulong kay Chebe, and with my gardening, and with the taking of the pets. Iba yung when you are teaching them how to pull on the karapata, how to use the seven, or to use the what do you call this, the soap and shampoo. Then how you instruct them, iba po. And how you coach them while you're doing it. Iba po yun. HR people, those who are in training, must know the difference. Kasi kung hindi, nako, iba po yun. And of course, the difference that is actually very near coaching and the difference of mentoring. Because we have been discussing this, these are part of interventions that we do now, especially that we are in the pandemic, but it has to be proper. It has to be proper. And I like this that we are sharing. So I'm reminded here that we'll first have a break. I am waiting for some insights from Ophel. Thank you, Ophel, my dear friend. And then Cecil, welcome, Enrico. Then after that, we close our discussion on mentoring and coaching. Everybody can be coached, everybody can be mentor, but Ophel and Cecil hit it spot on that yes, supervisors, that's part of our KPI, but not everybody can be mentored. What I learned is that mentoring and coaching is a different discipline. Even the competencies are different. Even the even the processes that you do are different. I know Ophel has a program on this. I am, you know why I ask this? Because I'm also trying to refine the program that I have because somebody is asking me, somebody from Bicol is asking me to do mentoring. So we have here Julia Robilos. Welcome, welcome. Can we just read before we have the break? Direct. Uh, a mentor is an inspiring role model, somebody that will encourage a mentee to uncover their uniqueness and reach their full potential. Yan ang problema. Kasi sometimes, usually, kaya dapat HR be very careful. The relationship between the direct report and the direct supervisor may be strained. Dapat ang mentor is an inspiring model. Take note of that. Take note of that. I did a mentoring program in Inquirer. And this is actually a problem. Maraming mga matataray na mga bosses na hindi gusto. But you know, sometimes they are also being respected by the rest na hindi na under. Hey, can we go back to Julia? To Julia. Yes. Somebody will encourage the mentee to uncover their uniqueness and reach out their full potential. You can be an inspiring mentor while coaching them to do the right thing, capitalizing their uniqueness. Oh, pwede naman, pwede naman. Then we have here Ophel. There are specific steps to do coaching. Yes. Alam mo, Ophel, one of these days, let's have this I think in season 7. It will look like a webinar, but ano kaya kayong dalawa ni Cecil? I don't know, Ophel, if you know Cecil. Cecil is a dear friend of our way back. You know, I have pictures of Cecil way back in the 90s, and we are actually celebrating in Pima. I want you to be guest, and let's parang webinar, and really, one will be on coaching, and one will be on mentoring. And siguro we can even ask VP Jerry to be with us, so that malinawan ang ating mga leaders and HR on what really, kasi that is actually, hindi pwede yan. Alam mo what is, my worry is, you know, when you practice, baka the practice continues and it becomes a tradition, ay hindi na po yung pure. Just like, I will like, Ophel, you're listening to me. One of these days, let us also discuss open space technology. Ay, my gulay! A lot are doing that, but they are not actually doing the right open space technology. We were together when we learn about it. I know we were together, Ophel. So yun, there are a lot of things that are being practiced now, wherein sometimes, of course, we can innovate. We can nobody is actually putting us. But you know, what worries me as somebody who is an elder in the profession, that what the things that are being done are not anymore. Just like say, the adobo that we eat here, or the binigti, or the binigti, yeah, or the biko, Just imagine we have here in the house mga gulay na we're not anymore using yung coconut kasi nga mahirap. Aba, evaporada ang ginagamit. No. Sabi ko, baka maging tradition na yan na yung ating gulay from Bicol, evaporada ang ginagamit. And that is my wife. Okay, so let's have the break, please. before we go back to our season guest, season HR guest, can we have the poster that we will invite our viewers to watch and view uh, episodes, programs in the new channel. What you have to do is visit the page, the new channel, and it's wonderful. You can watch us in your gadgets. Myself, I am even gardening or actually eating, and I watch the shows and TNC. And these are not only an option or alternative, it is a must. So from U-turn to the talk to the awesome day to market leader to the TNC, watch TNC shows. Can we have the posters that I would like to show to them? There, yes, I am doing a webinar on implementing the effective succession planning and management program in ECOT. And I think there are already around 15 was already registered. I just done a, a webinar on emotional intelligence leading to agility with ECOT also. I have one in PMAP too. But with PMAP, I would like to promote this. I have two posters for you. One of which is, yes, Con July 28th, we will have our PMAP National Conference. And I am already a past president, but I am very, very much involved to support that chairperson, Ellen Folido. I am actually facilitating the convergence or the synchronized conferences because we are now putting together the Luzon, the Visayas, and the Mindanao PNAP regional summits to be, what do you call this, converge with uh, the national conference. They will have separate, uh, what do you call this, uh, openings that later on they will be part. Isn't that wonderful? That's the positivity of what do you call this, the pandemic, that we are virtual, we are online. There is no problem of lodging. There is no problem of transportation. We can be together. So I'm actually facilitating all the chapters as an advisor, uh, coordinating with the trustees. This is Dr. Ronald Lapus, uh, Louis Hamora of Visayas, and Sol Chu of Davao. And they're coming up with their own regional summits and later on synchronize it with ANAC, the PMAP National Conference. I also have another one that I'm endorsing. This is an HR outline, so this is more on PMAP. Sulong, Pagbangon Tumon Tagumpay is a virtual job fair that will be on June 24. There is a QR code there that you can, what do you call this? Get to, what do you call this? Click, and then you can register. Or you can just call Peanut and be registered. As I told you, a vacancy that is not filled up is cost. And Ophel is here. In the PPO industry, it's real time. A vacancy that is not filled up in 24 hours means that the HR is inefficient. Ganon ka harsh. So let's go back to our season artist. If you notice it, I changed my style. I'm still upbeat. But somebody told me, Jesse, can you put a little of lowering down your tone? So I'm doing that now. So let's go to the side. There is a post here just to end the one that we discussed earlier. Can you spot on Ophel for practical coaching? A 2-minute performance coaching can be accomplished. State what you observe, wait for a response, remind the person of the goal, ask for specific solutions, and agree on the solution. Ophel, magkaklase tayo. Ang tawag nito is the 1-minute manager. Remember, Ophel? Yes. Ang layo nito sa mentoring. You don't do mentoring while you do this. Magagalit ang tao. Malalabas yan baka nagsabi, nag-shaming, nag-bullying ka. Thank you, Ophel, because this is now documented. This is how you really coach. And for those who are interested, it's in an old textbook. I have that a module in my old seminars before, the 1 minute coaching. At ang dulo nito is even that one of the sandwich effect. But this is coaching. This is actually different. Kasi naman doon sa mentoring, ito na yung questioning. You don't actually question people when you coach. O tama ba yung ginagawa mo? Eh baka masampal ka ni Chepe. Diba? I never asked that to may katulong. Magandang tangali, PPO Obet. Wala ka rin sa first portion, sayang. But if you have some thoughts can the difference between coaching and mentoring, and then we are here. But si Ophel is really a very, very nice source. And of course, we have here our friend Cecil. You know Cecil. Then Femery. Ay, nako, nabuhay ang aking Femery. To ensure that mentoring in the organization works, it is important to train not only the mentors, but also the mentees. Oh, pinahirapan tayo ni... Yeah, hindi ka lang mag-trainers training doon sa mentor. Dapat mag-train ka rin doon sa mentees. Kasi mali mo ang mentees, di ba? Particularly because it is the mentees that drive the mentoring process. You know, you're right, my BFF. Di ba, I'm making it romantic. The mentee seeks the mentor. Hindi ka nagme-mentor na ikaw naghahanap, nagiging kang mentor, di ba? Mentor. Naghanap ka, i-mentoran kita. Hindi. Ang dapat, maghintay ka ng isa, can you mentor me? Of course. Pero, sa program, dapat yung HR, tunay na yung mentor. And then the mentors are just there. Parang sabihin na, these people are ready to be mentors. Then you can just call them. Kaya mahirap noon, marami, pero no, it's not a popular, naman na, marami pumunta kay Jessie, konti pumunta kay Obet, kasi, nagpapakain si Jessie ng lugaw, hindi yun. Hindi yun. Thank you, Femery, kasi this is another angle. Pero sa coaching, hindi pa pwede. Kasi sa coaching talaga, it is part of your KPI that you have to coach your direct report, whether they like it or not. And thank you, Ophel, for giving us those steps. Alam mo siguro, let's have one of these days na we have a number of people just talking about one is coaching, another one is mentoring, because I'm a little bit worried. Kasi yun na nga, baka yung masanayan, it becomes, we tolerate, hindi na purist, pagdating ng oras, yun na ang ginagawa. A lot of practices, of course, you can actually, hindi naman invent, you can actually innovate, but I still believe that what is the intention? Femery, were you around? I told them even that of the open space technology, it is not, the practice is not anymore what we learned before. So let us go to our second topic. But we can continue on the coaching and mentoring if you're still uncomfortable with what we are discussing. Maganda po itong HR hotline kasi we are provoking yung stock knowledge mo. At ang nakikita ko rito, Phil, you're really so good. Okay, the second question, ito dito yung mga HR practitioners dito. Sinarico, how do you assess attitude? Yan, si PP Oben. This really came from my student. Sabi niya, sir, it is virtual selection, virtual interview. How can you now assess attitude? Sabi, competency-based recruitment, knowledge, skills, and attitude. How will you assess attitude? So, please share your thoughts kasi needed ito ng ating mga HR friends. Paano mo nga talaga makita ang attitude? Kasi a lot of people now are, sad to say, di ba? Medyo may fakeness, may front. They're so good in presenting themselves. But actually, later on, you found out, ay, naku, hindi pala plantito. Demonito. Di ba? So, how do you actually see in that person? Let me start. I've been using this. It's a little bit romantic also. The clinical eye. If you're already seasoned, if you're a tenured HR, You have the nose, di ba? Nose. And then the eye. It's bad to be judgmental, but when you see somebody, para bang, by just observing that person, you know kung ano ang kanyang profile. Just like a doctor. A doctor, when you see, by just observing the doctor, looking at your eyes, looking at the color of your tongue, they can determine if you are healthy. Similarly siguro sa HR. Kasi yun yung sagot ko dun sa estudyante ko. Sabi niya, sir, paano ito? Kasi may nakuha kami. Tapos pagdating ng oras, articulate. Ano mga sabi ko articulate? Maarte na sir, makulit pa. Ay, Diyos ko. Articulate na. So Jamie here. Jamie, can you spot on Jamie? The essence of coaching, si Jamie sa coaching pa rin. The essence of coaching is to help someone change and help them become who they want to be. Kaya mo kinag-coach. Okay. Or is it Jamie mentoring? Kasi coaching is actually performance. I think this is the essence of mentoring. Diba? Mini-mentor mo, gina-guide mo, dinilid mo. Doon sa coaching kasi, parang bang inaano mo, yung nagagawa siya. Gaya ba yung mami ko? Nagsasayaw, yung kanyang belly dancer, na kina-coach siya habang nag-perform. Pero pagkatapos niyan, mag-kokoko sila, mag-mentor siya. Kasama na yung boyfriend, kasama na doon. Rico, attitude, you are now on the second question, Rico, thank you. Attitude can be assessed through behavioral questions that can be raised to the applicant. Though the recruiter can immediately assess them, the recruiter must be keen to details and an observant. Yes. So, dapat talaga mayroon kang, what do you call this? It has not to be memorized, well, hindi para mong question and answer, but you must have some pointers on what questions you have to ask, what areas you have to ask, so that you can deduct, you can really mag-surface yung kanyang attitude. So this is actually, Rico, what you're referring is competency-based interview. Diba? Yung competency-based, CB interview technique, CBIT. Kaya parang lumabas talaga yung siguro competency-based, yung STAR, diba yung STAR, na dapat you can ask them of situations and how they react on it. Malay mo, tanungin mo, so ang tanong siguro, so what can you say about the lockdown? Malay mo, umiyak na sa harap mo, di makita mo yung attitude. Then we have Cecil Munoz. The right question must be asked that will allow the interviewers to the scenarios and action taken. Competency-based question following this. Oh, magka-classic talaga kami ni Cecil. Oh, di ba? Competency-based question must follow the STAR approach are still, wala pa naman Cecil na nag-come up na. Siguro, kaya primary mag-come up tayo ng bagong, framework sa interviewing. But I think the STAR is still there. Online interviews can be paired with other assessments like character reference checks, which are done rapidly na. Tama. Alam mo, sometimes yan ang nami-miss, Cecil. Hindi nag-check ng character. Diba? And then sometimes it's very, automatic yung mga reference check. We are all following templates and formats. Check na lang yung reference. Hindi mo talaga nakuha yung attitude ng tao. Huy, what we're discussing is very important now that we are on a lockdown and virtual in any situation. Kasi nga, a lot of people can have what do you call this? Ano matawag nun sa building? They have maganda tingnan sa labas. Diba? Then we have the Ophel. Virtual interviews have taught us to read body language. Ay, ang galing talaga ni Ma'am Ophel. Tenfold. Diba? Hay, ituro mo rin yan sa amin, Ma'am Ophel. That's why a video interview helps a lot since we can see the person's facial expression. Ay, pwede mo mabalik-balikan. Oo nga. Diba? Yung smirk, yung kanyang, what do you call that? Yung tawag na yung gumaganon-ganon. Yung nag-irak. We can then match the words with a voice and facial expression to check on authenticity of response. Mea culpa. I am on screen and I'm recorded. You can match my words with the voice and facial expression. Ophel, you know me, and ano, ako, I am a very authentic person. You can really see. Yung nga sabi, my eyes is the ano of my soul, is the window of my soul. Diba? Check on other. Yes, but you know, the key point here of what Ophel is sharing is read the body language. Then I like what Cecil also, the star method. Yes. Sometimes, tinuturo ko yan, Cecil. Tinuturo ko yan. But you know, sometimes, that is what is being missed. Kasi you keep on asking question. Sinabi rin ni Rico kanina. Sinabi rin ni Rico na you must ask the right questions. Then we have Rico here. Yes, competency-based questions and correct the star. Yes. Then we have Ophel. Yes, people managers. Can you spot on Ophel, please? People managers need to learn interview skills. They carry the company's brand in a way they carry themselves in interviews. Nako, ang dami na Ophel na gagawin ng HR. Not only training them to be coaches, training them to be mentors, training them to ask questions. Kasi, being prepared for every interview shows professionalism. Not only that, kasi I teach this, yung acquisition, manpower, workforce planning, acquisition, that includes sourcing down to onboarding. I include that in my modules that HR's responsibility is to come up with a short list. Actually, the one who should decide 80% of that are actually the one who's actually looking for the person to fill in the position. So these are the supervisors. Now, what Ophel is telling us, if the supervisor is not trained to ask questions. Alam mo, Ophel, I have lots of experiences on that. And some of them are still with PMAP. Ay, Rico, can you remember? I applied sa iyo at hindi mo ako kinuha. Nag-apply ako kay Rico long ago. Imukha naman kasi akong baduy noon. Pero ang dami ako kung nakita din sa PMAP. Pero when I was young and I was in the market looking for jobs, nako in the interview, mas maraming kwento yung nag-interview sa akin. Nandiyan pa yan. Tama ka, Ophel. They were not taught. Yung portion on how to give the company's doing, nako, it 80% of the interviews time. Nagkwento yung nag-interview. Yes lang ako ng yes. So, right, Ophel. Very right. So, sinabi ni Femery kanina that the mentee should be trained. Take note of that HR. Aside from the trainer's training for coaches, iba pa yung sa mentees. Hindi dapat yan ipagsabay. At yung mentors at yung mentees din, ngayon Ophel is telling us that iti-train din yung pagtanong. Yes. And then this is what we are discussing, sabi ni Cecil, the competency-based interview technique. Much more that we are doing it now online. This is as fast as we can. Ayan, no? Sa mga mag-review nito, kasi this will be shared, you can ask us, Ophel, myself, Cecil here. Cecil be a consultant. Ang my worry is the younger HR, they are so good, they are so, what do you call this, energetic and so passionate. Pero ang mahirap, yung practice, hindi. I got this from family. The difference between teaching them and then they learning, and then the difference between doing it right so that it can be caught. Sabi ni family, there are things that you cannot teach because these are caught. Ito ang nakakatakot with this. Kasi these are practices. Kahit na ako hindi ako magsasabi, this is the right thing to do. I got this from Pipi Jerry. Kasi there are practices. But how to what do you call this? The tipping point or the thin line that divides a practice to a profession, that spells the difference. We have to listen to seasoned HR just like Ophel and everybody. Kasi you can be doing the practice because that is what you have learned, but actually sometimes the practice may not be correct. And that is ethics. And then doing it professionally is different. So dapat mag-aral. So Ophel, May sinabi mo muna, before fell si Rico muna. PP Jesse, because during the time, our budget doesn't match to your need. Kaya hindi ako Rico, sayang nun. Di ba nagpunta pa ako dyan somewhere somewhere after ng what is that? Cosmos ba yun? That's a bottling company. Naka-play ako doon. I can still remember that, Rico. I was siguro mga 28 years old. Dami pang buhok ni Mr. Rico. From the time on, naging friends na tayo, Rico. Remember? Kaya malalim ang pinagdaanan natin, Rico. Hindi mo lang yan alam. Okay, Ophel. Can you spot on Ophel? Alam mo si Rico is one of those intimate that when we see each other, hugs talaga. Totoo yun. Kami yung mga, wala kaming pakialam. Basta kami nakikita, hugs talaga. Ewan ko ngayon na may physical distancing. So, one of my worst interviews, the moment the video came on, the hiring manager profusely apologized for not being prepared for the interview. Oo nga, Diyos ko, bobo naman. Yung magpapa-interview, sabihin mo, I'm sorry, I'm not prepared. And that she has not prepared questions and that she has not interviewed in a long time. What they signaled to me was that she was not interested in me. Unfortunately, this paints a negative picture of the country. Di ba? Di ba you're the HR or somebody in the operations or marketing? Tama yung sinasabi ni Opel, mag-interview ka na at pag-interview mo, oh, good morning. First, I would like to apologize that I have not done interviews for the longest time and I just came from a meeting, I'm not prepared for this. So, Opel, what is your name? Yun ang sinasabi kong mga yung mga HR na ano kaya ang kinain. Sinabi yung pangalan tapos what is your name? Femery? What is your name? Yan. Si Femery naman, hindi naman naturuan. My name is Femery. Diba? Kaya dapat ipiprepare. Oo, ipiprepare. So, Monica, gap 2 po. Okay, mag-break muna tayo. Sige, mag-break tayo. Sige, Monica, parang hindi ko kayo pagal. Ay, late, ba't nandito ka na? Late ka, late. Nandito si PP Obit Lay. Nandito kayong dalawa. So, let's have the break, Monica. I was just looking into the chat, the post in the chat. There is a post from Ophel which is actually very important when it starts with teaching. I think it's from Cecil and from Ophel. From from Cecil first. Can we look at Direct? Can you look for it? Teaching is transferring knowledge to someone doing the first time. Instructing is direct. Can you look for it? In the past post, instructing is direct on a procedural basis. Coaching is how well on how poorly. Yes. Fell muna. Teaching is providing the knowledge, procedures, etc. in accomplishing something. Coaching is providing a base, specific points the person did well and the areas he can do better. So, and after that, mentoring. Iba-iba po yun. But there is, thank you, Ophel. Then, but there is that one direct kay Cecil. Cecil Munoz. Teaching is transferring. Yeah, coaching is more focused on performance, feedback, and expected more from direct supervisors. Mentoring is more focused on career development of an employee. Mentors may not be necessarily be the direct boss. But there is that one of Cecil Munoz on teaching. Oh, here. This is because I asked, thank you, Cecil. You're a dear friend talaga. Teaching is transferring knowledge to someone doing it for the first time. Instructing is direct on a procedural basis. Oh, di ba? Nagsasabi ka kung ano yung sunod-sunod na gagawin. Coaching is how well or how poorly the person is doing. Wrapped with respect and self-esteem for the person. The purpose is to bring the person's performance to what is expected or beyond in an encouraging, motivating way. Hindi pa tayo dito nakakaalis, pero Cecil Inofel, I would like to point, you help me, ang point at hindi mo ito magagawa at the same time. Tell me if I'm correct. Na dapat iba yung time mo na you are giving instruction, iba yung time mo that you are now, what do you call this, iba yung teaching, iba yung instruction, iba yung coaching. Kasi nagagalit, yun ang alam ko eh. I got it. Di ba magkaklase tayong tatlo? Siguro, pero not literally ha. Na alam ko ang coaching, nagagalit yung ipagsasabay mo itong tatlo. Yung nag-teach ka, nag-instruct ka, at nagko-coach ka. Sige, gawin mo. Baka talagang literally masampal ka talaga. I dare. Ganun ako ka-authentic. Kasi parang, what I got from what I learned before, iba yung oras nung nag-teach, nag-instruct, at nag-coach. That is, baka sabihin na napaka-old naman si Sir Jesse, siyempre 64 na. Yes, okay. Si Pipi Obet to, nandito si Lay, magkasama ba kayo San Miguel? Pipi Obet, can you spot on? In any coaching and mentoring situation, both parties have always the opportunity to learn. Siyempre. Continuous learning takes place as long as there is humility. Of course, you get it from Pipi Obet. Siya lang ang magsasabi nito. That the spirituality aspect on any topic on HR. Continuous learning takes place as long as there is humility, openness, and willingness to listen, coupled with purposive actions to become a better person. The mindset is, I never stop learning because life never stops teaching. Oh, napaka-romantic. It can be a start of a poem. Pero yun no, Pipi Obet, nag-inspire ako kasi I have a module in emotional intelligence. Ito yung sinasabi, your being, become, and becoming. You can only do that, but that is what you call that. You learn both ways, both parties learn. Yes. So, we still have time kasi we also start a bit late, just as fast as we can, or we do it na pagbalik. The issue is next Thursday. Be with us kasi discuss natin yung what competencies should leaders prepare now. This is a text question talaga to. Kasi yung isa nakita niya, nag-share ako, nakita niya. Sabi niya, sir, you mentioned about, I think that was when the episode of PP Obet and PP Jerry, we discussed about the competencies, the future competencies. A student of mine in PMAP texted me. So sabi niya, sir, anong ipiprepare namin? Ako ipiprepare ko. Can we have this, kasi this is a lengthy discussion, can we have this next Thursday? We discuss what are things that you should prepare now, and what are the competencies that we expect to be. Of course, it's uncertain, it's book. We don't know, pero nagtatanong na nga kasi it's already mentioned. And then this is Ophel and Cecil, please join us kasi there should be that angle, as a family, that angle from talent development, na ano ba talaga ang competencies na dapat ipiprepare na ngayon. Kasi everybody is telling that you have to, diba? It is the time, it's the opportune time to do leadership development. Pero ang tanong, ano? So sabihin natin excellence. Ano sa excellence? Sabihin natin sa agility. Ano sa agility? So this will take time. Uy, Pipi Jerry, nandito ka. Teaching and coaching, like shifting from teaching, telling people what to do, to learning, help people discover things for themselves. Oh, ang lalim talaga ni Pipi Jerry. Teaching to coaching is like shifting from teaching, telling people what to do, and learning people discover things for themselves. Pipi Jerry, sige, tapusin natin. 2 questions that I would like to get your thoughts. One is, ang tanong kasi, can direct supervisors mentor and at the same time coach? Ang sagot nga, yes. Pero ang sabi ko nga, galing sa iyo, it's a different discipline. It's a different discipline. Hindi pa, and then, maganda, ang daming input po ni Ophel at ni Cecil and everybody ni Rico, na talaga yung coaching is, sinabi mo kasi KPI. And it's actually performance. And mentoring is actually for career development, for culture. I would like also to get your thoughts. And the other one is, how do you assess attitude in virtual interviews? I would like to get, kasi na late ka, sorry. And now, hinihintay ko, these are the friends of mine that are really seasoned, and then they share their thoughts. Yes, ang lalim ng sinabi ni Jerry Plano. Then we can have Obet. Yung isang, natin na, sa next meeting na natin. Thank you very much, CP Jesse Rebustillo, for a very productive, meaningful, and interactive engagement. Yeah! Huwag ka naman malate next, PP Obet. Yeah. Yes. It has to be, kasi the questions I really post here are questions from my students, and these are really things that they listen to us here, and then they ask me. And these are actually refinements of what we discussed. Kahit na yung pangatlo, it's a refinement. Yung what we have to prepare, galing yun sa ating tatlo last time. For all those who are viewing, PM me and I'll give you the playlist. Please watch that episode wherein PP Albert, PP Jerry, and I were conversing on many things about HR. So there is a post here coming from Rico. Rico, can you spot on Rico? Could you simply just say thank you for you? Ay, Rico, don't mention it. You should be here. You're family, and I know you have lots of things to share. You have lots of things to share. This is actually an initiative of Executive Director Rene Henner, wherein I really would like to sana endorse and promote it. And PP Obet, silang dalawa na na-caught it. PP Obet, nandiyan ka. Ito yung project share. What actually we are doing now here is actually that concept of project share. Just like me, Cecil, Obet, and we are all, retired, but we're still working, then it's actually yung sinasabing payback. Hindi ba, pay forward, payback. And the payback is actually sharing what you know. And then Ophel, and Dan, and that lalim. So it's time because, my worry, I really got it also from PP Jerry. Now, it's just a worry, it's just a concern. Now, people will now be practicing, which is not actually what was intended actually. So a lot of HR frameworks, HR practices that are being done by oras, nagki-cringe ako kasi it's not actually what is supposed to be done. So thank you. Meron na ipapasok before kasi we still have around 3 minutes. I would like to get your insight. Kasi I'm talking of a concern in one of the associations I'm with. PP Jerry and PP Obet, I would like to hear your comment on this. Sabi ko sa kanila, what do you call this? Brainstorming and bull sessions are not anymore done. Iba na ngayon yung interaction, discussion. Para bang we don't expect debate kasi para bang yung isang direction kasi gustong magkita-kita para daw mag-lay ng cards. Sabi ko yes, but you know that is not anymore the proper way to do it now. Kasi para bang you are waiting for some conclusion. Parang ganun, magiging chismoso ka. Sabi ko, the wisdom is, you wait, let it help, and then it should be open space. Tell me your thoughts before we go. Kasi ang sabi ko sa kanya, iba na ngayon, it's open space, there's a different approach, and di ba hindi na nga Captain Prego? Di ba? Di ba critical thinking lang iniisip ngayon? Para bang hindi ka na dapat definitive na talagang mayroon ka talagang desisyon ngayon. Di ba? So those are things na siguro pag-usapan natin sunod. But I would like to just PP Jerry, if you're still there, or PP Obet, on that, kasi I would like to be corrected if I am sure of, or if I am correct in what I shared. Nasabi ko, huwag muna mag-bull session kasi hindi na yan ngayon ginagawa. Yung talagang baka nag-expect siguro magsigawan. Sabi ko, hindi. Anyways, parang, anyway, we have, it's 1:16, so we can have that when we come back on, Pipi Jerry. Yeah. Mayroong sinabi si Pipi Jerry. Sige, tingnan natin. Sparks in healthy exchanges is what is needed to bring out new ideas. Sparks in healthy. Pero hindi Pipi Jerry yung bull session, no? Kasi this one, there is a problem wherein they would like to ask people to lay their cards. But yeah, I agree. Sparks in healthy exchanges is what is needed to bring out new ideas. I know in our being together, we love that. I know. Gusto magkikwento na naman kaming dalawa. Si PPP, Obet, yes, you're right, PP Jesse. Can we spot on PP Obet? I call them PP kasi past presidents po yan. You're right, PP Jesse. I suggest that you feature this topic soon. Yeah. Sige nga, and then I would like to get from Ophel, from Femery, from everybody, from Cecil, from Rico, yung sinabi nga, yung how you, I think this is actually approaches and how you deal with problems. Kasi ang mahirap kasi ganito, makinig, pero I will leave it parang bitin. Ang mahirap kasi, you're going to do a bull session on Zoom, o sige nga, isipin nga natin, Ophel, paano kaya yun? Magsisigawan tayong dalawa sa Zoom. Kaya pag-isipan natin, Pipi Jerry, I think those are the things, yeah, right, Pipi Albert. So, thank you very much from past President Jerry Plana, Roberto Policarpio, to my different fellow colleagues, Femery Cabantat, maybe, and then Cecil and Rico. I was waiting for Cecil terribly also to come here. And then we have June is already here. Lay hindi ka nag-join sa amin. Join ka sa sunod. Lay is actually an HR in the San Miguel firm. Who else are here? Thank you very much for joining. You know, what is nice? It's documented. I forget, June Sally also. These are being shared. These are being shared by our colleagues in the industry. And then, of course, these are insights. They may believe or they may laugh at us, but at least we shared our thoughts. And there is something that they are gaining from it. So there goes, ladies and gentlemen. Let us really do the proper mentoring and coaching. It is a practice, but I was telling you earlier, from the practice, how we let it become something that is professional, something that is proper. Then also, what we do, this is not specific. Always remember the competency-based interview technique. And I added that you must have that eye and nose, the clinical eye, not being judgmental, but you are just observing. Ophel told us about that. Okay, so 2 important concerns of HR. Be with us again on Saturday. Saturday will be light moment. I will text you. This time it will be very personal coming from me. So ladies and gentlemen, take care and be safe. Thank you very much. Just marvelous po.